Okay, guys, we are going to start our slab vessels today. So what I need you to do is take a look at this slideshow that we're going to go through. I'm going to show you a few images, and then you're going to watch and see what's expected of you during the creation of these images, or what you should expect. So we're going to take a look at a few slab vessels just to help you get some ideas, okay? So here we go. Notice the repetition of texture and pattern that we are wanting to use. Notice color and lines. Notice how you use additives to create a more interesting, a visually interesting space. This is how you're going to start out creating your vessel. You're going to need to know exactly how big you want your base, how tall you want your walls, as well as how wide you want them. This is all going to be done very mathematically through the use of rulers and different formulas. So you're going to create a design which defines self would be the big idea. As always, you may come up with your own big idea. If you'd rather use a different one, that's completely fine with me. But your design needs to include one interesting design quality, 3 different textures, and 1 major additive. Additive meaning, like this one, the additive would be the lizard. So you're gonna watch this video, and it's going to demo a little bit of how to put this together. So hang on just a second.
Now, slab building is not just for small, flat pieces. You can actually construct larger items like vases, boxes, all kinds of things out of slabs. Here I'm going to demonstrate how to do a square vase made out of slabs. The first thing you need to do is get a piece of cardboard to make a template for your walls. I've decided that I want a tall, thin, rectangular vase, and so I've made a tall, thin, rectangular form. And then you're going to lay that form directly on your prepared slab and cut around it with a needle tool. I've already done this. I've got these slabs cut and prepared. You also want to take this same form and make your base. And what you can do to do that is just cut one of the forms and then lay this against the corner to cut it again to get your square. So that's what this is here. You let these set up. These are actually leather hard. You don't want them to be flimsy, or when you try to construct them, they're going to fall down. So we're ready now to construct the base.
Okay, so that kind of gives you an idea of the setup of what we're going to start doing. And here's the next video as far as how you put them all together.
So now we've got our prepared pieces and we're ready to construct these together. I want the smooth side to be the outside of my vase. So first I'm going to take my scorer and I'm going to score together. The first one's going to go like this. So I'm going to score on this edge and my prepared slip that I showed you earlier, this is a great time to use that. It's almost like glue. Just put a little bit of that on there and score it right in. Now you want to do this edge of this piece. Score it across. Add a little bit of your slip. Score that in. Now you're going to take this piece, butt it up against this piece, and press firmly. Now you see how this is standing up on its own. That's why I was saying that you need to have relatively firm pieces of clay to do this. Smooth out that interior corner, and now you're ready to add your other walls.
Okay, so that gives you an idea of how it's constructed before you begin your planning stage. So what we're looking at here are different techniques you can use for texture. Again, you are required to use texture. Here's some more designs. Again, any type of repetition that you can use makes your vessel much more interesting, as well as will create kind of a gap for your glaze to eventually sink into and create more values. You can use pretty much anything to create texture. Again, some sort of design and pattern needs to be planned out. I cannot stress how important that is. It needs to be planned out before you begin applying it. I will allow you to practice with clay and texture and see what kind you want to use and how it's going to work for you. Here's just another design. So this is something that we will end up doing later. Again, we kind of work through this while we're completing our projects. But today what I want you to do is I want you to sketch out, I want you to begin sketching out a design, okay? It needs to be something that involves a slab vessel, so more rectangular. Think of an interesting top you want to put on it. Think of interesting additives, interesting textures, those sort of things. So I want you to begin kind of sketching around in your sketchbook. Come up with some of those big ideas if you don't want to use the idea of self. So for the rest of the class today, if you could please work on that and see what you come up with, and then when I come back, we'll go through them and work together. Thanks.